Hi, it's Fidget for Fitness. It is Sunday, June 20th, 2010. It is Father's Day. I'm actually thinking about my dad today, who's passed away. So I am making one of my original recipes from my kitchen. I created this recipe. It's chicken breast wrapped over goat cheese and rosemary. So I'm going to start with the center, which is also going to be part of the sauce. So I'm going to reserve some of this for the sauce. I'm basically taking a tablespoon of butter. I have a whole jar of sun-dried tomatoes, which I chopped. And I have about 3 cloves of garlic and 1 large shallot. And I have 3 large sprigs of rosemary chopped. And this is one of the sprigs from the farmer's market. Doesn't look that good in my garden. And then I have that chopped. So basically I'm just going to melt the butter. And this is going to be probably a 4-step video, but I'll string it all together. I'm going to add the garlic and shallots, the sun-dried tomatoes, and the rosemary all together. And I'm going to add a little bit of the leftover oil, because these are marinated sun-dried tomatoes, not dried, and just add some of that oil, which just makes a great sauce. So I'm just going to let that go. It's going to cook for, I don't know, about 3 or 4 minutes. So now that this is cooked up for about 4 minutes or so, it's just going to have just an unbelievable aroma of sun-dried tomatoes that have been marinated with garlic, shallots, and rosemary. You're going to take it off the flame. I have a big log of goat cheese, and I'm only going to use about half of this. This is 11 ounces. I normally use 6 ounces, so a little less than half. That's probably about half. I'm going to put that into a bowl, and you are going to use half of, not half, 3/4 of the tomato mixture in with the goat cheese. So you're just going to get the goat cheese a little softened. You're going to add 3/4 of this mixture to it. You're going to reserve the rest for your sauce. So this is for the sauce, and we're going to use the sun-dried tomatoes oil again for the sauce. And then we're just going to mix this together with some pine nuts, as many as you like. I actually like pine nuts. You don't want to overdo it because this is going to be rolled inside chicken, so you want to make sure you can roll it all the way. And just stir it together. So now I'm going to roll up the chicken breast made with the rosemary and goat cheese. And I forgot one key ingredient, which is some Locatelli cheese. It's just nice Italian Parmesan cheese. So I just basically add that as a binder to the goat cheese, and it melts and it gives it a great flavor. And again, as I mentioned earlier, I omitted the breadcrumbs, so put a little bit extra in here. That's it, just stir it together. And I did add another tablespoon of goat cheese as well because I wasn't sure if I had enough. So these chicken breasts I pounded, not too thin, but you know, thin enough. I'm just going to salt and pepper them, just flip them over. Basically just give them a little salt and pepper on the inside. A little pepper. I have 4 bamboo skewers that I had soaking in water for 30 minutes, and then I cut them just kind of the length of the chicken breast. Or I should say the width of the chicken breast. So basically you're just going to spoon it on. You basically just take the goat cheese, just push it down, spoon it, you know, I use my fingers for a lot of things. I'm less about utensils, more about efficiency. So the pine nuts, you don't want to be too close to the end or else it will melt out onto your pan. You're just going to roll it, meet it in the middle, and then just take a skewer and go directly in to secure it. And I am probably going to cut these because it might be a little too long for the pan. So just continue on. Do all 4, and then what you're just going to do is take some melted butter, brush them, and bake them for probably about 30 minutes or so, just until they're cooked all the way through. There's no pink. So to accompany my chicken breast wrapped in goat cheese and rosemary, I am just making asparagus under the broiler. Beautiful lemon I just got at the farmer's market yesterday. So you're basically just very simply going to cut the lemon. Just going to put some olive oil, balsamic, salt, pepper, and lemon. Just as easy as can be. Just put it under the broiler till it's done and browned. And basically just want to roll it. Another one of these recipes where you get your hands in it, which I don't mind at all. And put just a splash of balsamic. And then lemon. You can pick the pits out afterwards. I only got one in there, which wants to be challenging to come out. One pit. And then just salt and pepper, if you want salt and pepper. You don't even have to put salt and pepper. A little salt and pepper. And just put it under the broiler on high until it's done. This is what it looks like before, and then I'll show you what it looks like after. So our chicken's almost ready to come out of the oven. So I'm just going to start the sauce now. Basically, I'm just going to take the same ingredients that have been sitting in the pan and reheat them, which is the garlic, shallots, sun-dried tomatoes that have been chopped, and rosemary. I'm just going to reheat them. I'm just going to add a little bit of that oil again from the sun-dried tomato jar, just the marination oil. And then I'm just going to add heavy cream. I just want enough just to cover the chicken, because we're not serving it with, you know, pasta or anything on the side. And then what I do is add just a little salt, fresh ground pepper, and again some more Locatelli cheese, and this will thicken it up, so you don't have to add flour or cornstarch. So I add a decent amount of Locatelli cheese. Then we're just going to let this cook up, thicken, and once it thickens, we will just spoon it over the chicken breast, and that will be dinner. I forgot one important step and one important ingredient. I normally add 1 tablespoon of the goat cheese to help thicken the sauce up. So this is what the sauce is looking like as it thickens. But you don't have to. It will thicken without the goat cheese. So it depends on the flavor you're looking for. I just added it, but on occasion I don't. So it's an important ingredient if you want to stay with the goat cheese theme and flavor, or you don't have to add it. So I just added that, and I'm going to pour it over the chicken as soon as it comes out of the oven. So here's the finished product and what I'm serving it with. So I'm just going to put on the gloves just to show you. This is the balsamic and olive oil roasted asparagus. And I'm going to plate that with the chicken. And the chicken has the sauce. And the sauce I'm just going to drizzle over the top. It's the rosemary, sun-dried tomato chicken stuffed with goat cheese and with the same sauce. And then I am going to use the spoon. Put some asparagus sprigs on the plate. And that's what dinner will look like, and I'll slice it to show you the inside. Before I do that, I'll show you the salad. I just made a tomato mozzarella balsamic salad with fire roasted red and yellow peppers, and I guess fire roasted sounds a lot better than roasted. So I got these tomatoes at the farmer's market yesterday, and they're called strawberry tomatoes. They're a cross between grape tomatoes and cherry tomatoes, so they're absolutely delicious. So I'll cut this real quick, show you what it looks like inside. And that is the inside. I'll see if I can turn it around. Absolutely delicious dinner. Simple. It might be too much for some people, but it's really easy and it will be delicious. So have a great night.